Why are there so many podcasts about movies?
You always come to the table with something good every time for an intro.
Thanks, they're never good, but I always go balls to the wall.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Welcome to The Swamp. We are a movie podcast, which the Swamp stands for...
Some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And today, if you couldn't guess by my really authentic rendition, we're going to be talking about the Muppets. We're going to be talking about the 2011 movie
Muppets
version.
movie, yeah.
It was kind of a soft reboot for the Muppets. They hadn't really put out a ton of stuff. I know the Muppets had a lot of movies, back in the day, but we're doing the 2011 version specifically to fit in with our Oscar snub theme.
Yeah, so we decided that one of the queens of Oscar snubs is Amy Adams, and so of course the movie that we were going to cover is the Muppet movie. I want to give a quick shout out to Kiki for suggesting this.
Because there's so many good Amy Adams movies, there are so many different to choose from. Ones that are considerably Oscar snubs, others not so much.
We were gonna do, Enchanted before this, and then I, called Alyssa, and my friend Kiki was there, and she was like, you should do the Muppets. And I was like, you're a fucking genius.
And you had never seen this movie, which is
never.
Crazy. I mean, I've seen it maybe once or twice, but I saw it in theaters the day it came out, which was Christmas Eve. And my family had done a thing, a tradition where we went tubing on Christmas Eve every year.
Fuck?
Yeah, tubing for people who don't live in places where it snows. Tubing, not on a lake, but in the snow.
Yeah, I was like, we both live in Massachusetts. What do you mean tubing?
Tubing in the snow. You go to a ski mountain, but sometimes they have a place where you pull a tube up a hill. It's like sledding, but
That's fun stuff, yeah.
But global warming had happened a little harder than usual that year, and there was no snow. We're like, what are we gonna do? And so we saw the Muppets movie instead.
Honestly, do you think it was a better time than tubing?
It certainly stuck with me because I knew all the words to all the songs.
Yeah,
and I think I've only seen this one or two times, but it is such a romp. It is camp. It is glamour. It is drama, conflama, all of it. This movie is everything. The Muppets in general, I could pop off for hours. I love puppets. I love the Muppets in particular, but puppets, practical effects in movies, television, film, all of it. I cannot get enough of it. And just the history, the development, the impact of the Muppets, really, I just think it's very cool, and I can talk about it for a long time. And I'm really excited that we chose to do this movie. You recommended it, which I was like, hell yeah, I'll do the Muppets. Fuck yeah.
I was like, hear me out. No, I didn't realize this was a musical, and then there was, a couple of chords, and, what's the name of the main character? What's his name?
Gary.
No.
Jason
The Muppet.
The Muppet is... Was it Walter?
Yeah, Walter started singing, and Dara just started singing right along with him. Perfectly on key. I was like, I know you've done this before.
Life's a happy song when there's someone by your side to sing along. It's so good. The movie opens up with a campy, fun musical number. It lets you know what's what. It's so good. And the really funny thing that I think about this movie is that this movie is an Oscar winner.
Stop.
Not for Amy Adams.
I thought you were fucking joking with me when you told me this. I thought you were fully, just playing, pranking me super hard.
No, this movie won an Oscar for Best Original Song. And it's not even the best song in the movie. It's the song in the middle where Jason Segel has an identity crisis and says, am I a man or am I a Muppet? And it's so good. And I really, there's only one other song against it. They only picked 2 songs that year. And then they picked...
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's quite odd. It just, am I a man or am I a Muppet or a man of a Muppet or whatever the name of the song is. And that won the Oscar, which is fucking ridiculous that Amy Adams has 0 Oscars and the Muppet movie has one.
She's gotta be, so upset.
Honestly,
I don't want to say upset, but,
I hope she's unbothered. I hope that she knows that her body of work stands and that everybody respects her as an actress without having that award. But at this point, it's kind of Leonardo DiCaprio level ridiculous.
Exactly.
I mean, he does have one now, but it was getting to that point, where everyone's like, come on.
Every time the Oscars roll around, I just see, like, and because she's nominated, like, every year or every other year almost at this point, and it's just, like, every year I see tweets that's, like, 11-time Oscar loser, or, like 9-time Oscar loser, like, poor Amy.
Adams, yeah. A lot of people make arguments as to, why she's snubbed or as to why she hasn't. I know a lot of people have said that she's too consistently not like mediocre, but like she's good, but she's not the standout performance in a lot of movies.
I guess
she's so consistently good that you regard her as an amazing actress, but in any given movie, she's not the star, like she's not the standout, which I can maybe see, but honestly, there are certain ones that I just, come on.
Yeah.
Enchanted, you can't not, and I think she's shown a lot of range. I think people who say she's consistently kind of the same, like, nice girl, whatever character, I think she has proven that wrong.
Yeah, no, it's certainly not. I think one of the other ones that we were considering doing tonight was, like, American Hustle. And she was a bad bitch in American Hustle.
And I think that's one that a lot of people were like, oh shit, and then she didn't win for that either, so... Yeah. So, people who say that she got upstaged in that one as well. So it's just tough. She just had a tough time.
Like, I mean, I don't even want to say upstaged. I think that was just Jennifer Lawrence was in her peak. And she had one really good scene where she was, like, flinging her hair around to live and let die.
Hair.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that does kind of do it for me. But,
to start the podcast off, I do want to go through all of her nominations, because if we're going to talk about her as a subject, I do think it is important. So from Oscar, beginning, going forward, and starting in 2005, supporting role actress, she got nominated for Junebug, which I have not seen.
Nope, seen it.
I don't know that one. 2008 for Doubt, supporting actress as well. Her and Meryl Streep were nuns in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I have seen that.
2010 supporting role again for The Fighter.
That was good. She was good.
Supporting role again, 2012, The Master.
What was that about?
Finally, leading role for American Hustle in 2013, which she didn't win.
Who did she lose to for that?
In 2013?
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up, but the final one, though, was in 2019, pretty recently. She was for a supporting role in Vice, which I thought she was really good in as well. She played Dick Cheney's wife. Hey, Jen's coming in. Come on in, Jen. We're talking about the Muppets movie.
Yeah, I never saw them.
We did.
Yeah,
Don't you fucking lie to me right now. You, me, and the Ivies, instead of going tubing, because there was global warming, we went and saw the Muppets movie on Christmas Eve, the day it came out. The one with Jason Segel and Amy Adams. They all sang, am I a man or am I a Muppet? I'm the Muppet of a man. I'm a very manly Muppet.
You are 100% correct.
Yeah, don't even go there with me.
Just
Oh, okay. Do you want to do it now?
I'll do it freaking now.
ready to do
Yeah,
it now?
come here.
Yeah, we just started, but I feel like a chocolate and vanilla is a good place to
kick
start.
us off.
Yeah, no, I feel like we do a lot of bits at the end, like
So we
food
should
pairings and like fuck, marry,
Yeah,
kill.
yeah.
So chocolate and vanilla is a good place.
But you
to,
gotta
like,
get more to the front of the mic.
I have two because
Okay.
I'm doing two podcasts.
Oh my god, I love this.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla,
Chocolate. Snow White or Cinderella?
Snow White.
Snow White,
Cinderella. What about Bob or Groundhog Day?
What about Bob?
Groundhog Day,
What about Bob? Mickey or Minnie?
Mickey.
Mickey. Matrix or Alien?
Matrix.
Alien,
Matrix. Thor or Loki?
Loki.
Loki.
Thor.
It's his arms.
Girl with the dragon tattoo or girl on the train?
Neither. Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Girl on the train. Vince Vaughn or Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson. Wow.
Owen Wilson.
Definitely Owen Wilson. Legally Blonde or Aaron Brockovich?
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde.
I've never seen it.
It's a female lawyer, so
Oh,
it was like
okay.
She's
Yeah.
fighting against climate change. It's just based off of a real person.
Oh.
Get Out or Us?
Oh, that's so hard. This is gonna be controversial. I'm gonna say Us.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I haven't seen either. I know. It's really bad. It's really bad.
We have to pick one though.
Get out.
Get out. The original Mary Poppins or Mary Poppins Returns?
Of course, the original Mary Poppins.
Original.
OG. Okay, that's that one.
Do you have two? Wait.
I have two. You want another
Yeah,
one?
let's do another
We're
one.
in a double shot.
just
Oh
run
my
it,
gosh. Okay, hold on. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Gosling?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. I knew you were gonna say Jake.
That's an easy one.
We share the same birthday.
Birthday twins. The Rock or Vin Diesel?
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock. You know that's a Fast and Furious reference too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Toy Story or Inside Out?
Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Winnie the Pooh or Tigger?
Tigger.
Tigger.
Tigger. Gone with the Wind or Godfather?
Oh my god. Ugh. Gone with the Godfather.
Godfather.
Gone with the Wind. Jesse Eisenberg or Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
We
Remember
just,
that
we
movie
just
they were in
talked about how
together?
much we hate him.
We just for an hour talked about how much we fucking hate Jesse Eisenberg. That movie where they work at the theme park
American
together.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway
It's
or
called
Scarlett?
Adventureland.
I swear there's another
No.
one, American Ultra. American
Yeah,
Ultra, right?
that one was way better than Adventureland.
But Adventureland also had Kristen Stewart in it and Jesse Eisenberg, and they work at a theme park together. Is this a fucking Mandela effect thing where the same movie
I think
They've
there's
been in
two
a lot.
movies that
They've been in a
same.
lot of movies
Yeah,
together.
I guess.
They were in another one where like they're from like gangsters from the 20s or something.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anne Hathaway or Scarlett Johansson?
Anne Hathaway.
And
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
DC.
Marvel.
Well, that's tough because we're talking about contextually.
personally, I hate the movie. I wish the DC movies were better.
Yes.
But
DC,
in terms of DC,
if we're talking about-
as
I think a
itself-
lot of people would totally say
if we're
that.
talking about like my
Yeah.
favorite superhero movies, Batman, obviously, hands down, no
Yeah.
question. But if we're talking about a body of work, it's Marvel.
yeah,
but
yeah.
but it's let's not get into it.
Lightning McQueen or Herbie?
Herbie.
Lightning McQueen.
Herbie. Ray or Poe?
Poe.
Yeah, Poe.
I'm gonna go Ray. Black Klansman or Judas and the Black Messiah?
Black Klansman.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
I'll go Black Klansman, but that's it. That's my
Oh,
10.
That's a good
10
one.
Thank you, that was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You had some good ones.
Yeah. We love a structured segment and we love shouting our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always nice to have you, Jen. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go make
Round
a
of
drink.
applause for our unpaid
do-
intern.
We always love to have Jen on the pod. She's so great. She's not only my mother, but she also is a volunteer intern. She does
a lot of research.
self-proclaimed titled intern too. I told her like it was volunteer work, but she's like, no, I'm the intern. And I'm like, you know, you're not paid. And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, you know that unpaid internships are slavery. And she was like, yeah, I know. But so she's still.
We'll at least buy her a name tag.
We will.
That's
I
the
will
least
make
we
her
can
a
do.
drink with alcohol that she bought for this house.
Yeah.
But
That's how we pay her.
Jen is so great. She comes up with a detailed list of facts that I pepper in as if they are my own knowledge. It's really great. So back to the Muppets, I guess.
I
guess
don't know what train we were on.
chocolate or vanilla. Do you like Kermit or Miss Piggy?
Miss Piggy. She's
Yeah.
a fucking queen.
She's an icon. It's
How can I not? I came up with a question and I wanted to ask, one, who is your favorite Muppet? And two, which Muppet do you relate to the most?
Okay.
Because I feel like they're two very different things.
that is a very true statement. I would say that the Muppet that I like the most is the Swedish Chef.
Nice.
But the Muppet that
Does Henry remind you of him? Is that why?
yes, that's yeah. I'm married to the Swedish
Oh my
Chef.
god. Wait, no, listen to this. We're like maybe 10 minutes in. We're talking to this movie, right? We're sitting there and it's like Jason Segel talking about how it's like, oh, me and Amy Adams' 10-year anniversary is like coming up. Like we're going to LA for our anniversary.
Gary and Mary.
Yeah,
are the
Gary and
character
Mary.
names, yeah.
And Dara just turns to me abruptly. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, me and Henry are engaged, and throws up her left hand with a ring on it.
It's like, okay, if you're,
I'm already watching the Muppets movie, which is jarring enough. And then to just be told, like, oh shit, wait, I'm engaged. I was like, huh?
it actually, like, I'm not going to say it's not a big deal because it is, but it was just very much like a thing that had been in the works of a conversation for a long time. And there happened to be a going out of business sale at the local JCPenney. And, you know, I'm pragmatic, and and one morning I was like, hey, Henry, we both have today off. Do you want to go get wedding rings? And he was like, sure, let's go. And then we got them, and then we're like, oh shit, now we have to, like, make announcements to people, and it's fine and everything, and it's cool, but it just feels very weirdly formal considering, like, I don't know, the context. But anyways, I guess Henry and I are engaged because there happened to be a sale at JCPenney, and we're gonna probably get married anyway, so.
I just really like that you chose to tell me while we were watching the Muppets movie. It feels very on brand.
Well, yeah, Jason Segel was like, Amy and Adams and I have been together for 10 years, and I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't told Emily that I'm engaged yet. So, this is me.
Yeah. Cheers to Dara. I want everyone to raise a glass.
Thank you. My new favorite thing to do is tap my ring against hard surfaces over and over again to make noises, because I'm crazy. But the Muppets movie is great, and your question,
okay, yes.
I think I like the Swedish Chef the most, but unfortunately, I think the one I identify the most is Fonzie, because he's constantly bombing. And that's something about me, is that I don't know if this is like a fun fact to share, just like a depressing insight into my life, but something I do when I'm like, thinking in my head, I have a lot of time to self-reflect, is I do a stand-up in my head, but I'm bombing the whole time and the crowd is booing and not laughing and sometimes throwing things at me. And I keep it up for 20, 30, 40 minutes on end. And then that way, when I talk to people in real life, it's never as bad as that.
No. You're building a lot of resilience at that point.
So, if I'm like zoning out ever, it's because I'm doing comedy and I'm bombing in my head. Needless to say, I've never done an open mic or a stand-up. It would probably give me a panic attack, just due to personal experience that I've made up. But anyways, I identify with Fonzie because he's not funny, but he's trying his best. What about you?
I've got a couple of favorites. It's really hard to whittle down one.
I know yours is so easy, Emily. You're animal.
Yeah, like who I relate to or my favorite?
Both.
Just because I played the drums for like 10 years.
And you're a little manic. You're cute and a little manic.
Aw. I'm so glad that someone's told me that I'm cute and manic. I feel like I've never gotten that.
Yeah, you're like a lovable manic drummer figure.
Nice.
Come on. I think it fits.
Thank you.
What was your instinct?
I feel like it's hard to say that Miss Piggy isn't your favorite.
She's so good.
Like a fucking queen. Like, that's who I want to be. You know what I mean? I want that confidence. I want to be that bad bitch. Like, is she a girl boss?
She's a fucking pig boss. She transcends girl boss. She's just an icon.
Exactly. You get it. But the one that I think I related to most, this was also hard to whittle down. I felt like Rolf a lot. I mean, like, just that very laid-back vibe.
I see that for you.
But also Walter, just because his entire act was like, I can whistle pretty solid. And I feel like I don't have a lot of talents.
Can you give us a sample? I don't mean
Tell
to
me something to whistle.
I don't mean to put you on the
I
spot.
need like something to whistle.
Do you remember any of the songs from the movie?
No.
Are we gonna get copyright?
No, I don't think
infringed?
so. I don't think we will.
I don't know.
I've been like thinking about this for 30 minutes, and for some reason I can't think of any songs.
Do like Twinkle Twinkle, but really solid.
Fuck.
Because I could. You're making it like swing jazz. You're putting a twang on that.
I can't just do some plain Twinkle Twinkle. Just do some.
No, that was more solid than I could do for sure.
Yeah.
I think we've discussed this. Do you suck in or blow out? You blow out, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do.
That's how you actually whistle.
But we both have learned sucking in, so that's all I do.
That's how I learned. But yeah, no. I can't think of anything. All I do is I can do and we did Fantastic Mr. Fox. I can just do his little like thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that thing where you like put like two of your fingers in your mouth and you just whistle super loud.
Yeah.
Like
that is a skill that you could whip out and people are like, oh.
Like, I look up to my mom for, like, a couple of things, but one of those is that she can just do that, and it just fucking blasts through, like, the sonic, I don't know, sound.
Yeah, as someone who played a reed instrument in high school, I probably should be able to figure that out with my tiny pinky fingers, one way or another, but...
Yeah, Dara and I played band together in high school.
Yeah, that's how we know each other. If you don't... I don't know if that improves or just proves this podcast any more than it already does.
We're just gonna give you nibbles of, like, our background.
If you can't tell this about me already, i.e. me not formally getting engaged or telling anybody, I don't really like to talk about myself. In the same way that I'll probably get married at the town hall.
See, the thing is, I love to talk about myself. Ask me anything.
Right? I mean, if people ask, but, like... I pride myself in not doing that, because somebody starts talking to you about their personal life and you're like, hey, I didn't fucking ask, and also you're boring. I don't know, not to be mean. But you know who I would let talk to me all day is Walter the Muppet.
Yes.
And the thing about this movie that's fucking crazy is, so the basic plot is that Jason Segel is an adult man named Gary, and he has a longtime lover, Mary, i.e. Amy Adams, and
Queen.
Gary's little brother, unexplained question mark, is Walter the Muppet.
Yeah, they don't go into it feels like a very, like, Stuart Little kind of thing.
But at least at Stuart Little, they say they go to the orphanage and choose a mouse. I don't think that there's any...
There's no context. There's literally zero context.
They're just like, yeah, this is my little brother. He's a puppet. Which is fine. And then they do the little montage of them growing up together and they're best friends. And the human Jason Segel character is very protective over his puppet brother. And the Mary character is a little frustrated that he feels so protective over him because, you know, being a puppet, you don't have many advantages in life.
No.
But, like, a weird thing that I just don't really... I mean, this movie's not supposed to make sense. It's about Muppets, and the plot is fast and loose, and we're not really getting into plot hole details here. But in the movie, around middle school... the Walter character discovers the Muppets via DVD. So this is like a self-aware kind of situation. The Muppets have existed. They were a thing in the 70s. They were popular. These VHS tapes to show that it's old, whatever. People are like, you like the Muppets? That's old and weird.
It implies that he's the only Muppet outside of the Muppets.
That he's the only Muppet outside of the Muppets, and that he didn't know that Muppets existed until he was 12 or so.
That feels like bad parenting. Like, your parents aren't gonna, like, be like, hey, you're a Muppet? There are some famous Muppets, you should watch this.
No, but not even famous Muppets that, like, okay, obviously he knows he's not a person, right?
Yeah.
Because they imply that he, like, gets thrown through the air and, like, you know, realizes that he doesn't grow because he's made of fabric. And it's a joke and it's funny, but then all of a sudden he's like, there are other Muppets, I feel seen. That's, like... not knowing there are other people of your race until you're in your preteen age. That he's like, I didn't know that other people like me existed.
Entirely.
What the hell? And it's just, I mean, it is addressed because it's the whole point of the movie is that he has to choose between the Muppet community and the human community, and he feels kind of torn between them. And then the older brother, Jason Segel, Gary character, also feels like too protective over his brother, so he doesn't really know the difference between being, you know, fully a person or being a Muppet, i.e. the song Man or Muppet, Muppet of a Man, Oscar-winning song. But it's just, I just thought that was such a fucking weird, that it's so jarring to start off a movie with like, you're the only one except for these people on TV.
Yeah.
You better be obsessed with them or else you have no personal identity. But I do really like, though, that the way that this movie starts off with the Jason Segel character is a full adult man, really leaning into childlike behavior because his younger brother, who looks like a 2-foot-tall puppet person, they sleep in little twin-sized beds next to each other. They share a room. It's really cute. They're doing, like, cutesy fun kid stuff together. And I think that's so fundamental Muppets, Sesame Street, like, puppet things where the adults come in and it's very, like, you're in a child's world. And I felt that really, like, fit the tone. They didn't break away from that, even though they do wear suits and he is an adult, he has a, you know, a girlfriend, a wife, whatever. I just think when the adult character comes to Sesame Street or the Muppets or whatever, they kind of get into that like child headspace because that's who the audience is. And I liked that this movie kind of stuck to that because you get it right off the bat.
I really liked how self-aware this movie was.
Oh my god, because all those little jokes, I think, are for the adults, or at least for the people who will pick them up, but they're not too heavy-handed that it's taking away from... They're fast.
Exactly.
Like the Kermit scene where you first see Kermit, and it's a spotlight and a choir singing, but then in the back it's a...
cracked me up.
It's a bus of choir. It's like a choir bus, and they're going by and they're like, oh! It's so, yeah, and there's so many... Oh, I didn't know we had it in the budget to do an explosion like that.
Like the Muppets knew they weren't relevant when they were making this, and I really like that they were like, you know, let's just throw it in the fucking plot. Let's run with it. Like, you know what I mean?
It was very much based in truth. Yeah. Because, like I said, soft reboot, the Muppets had kind of a dull, not really active period because Jim Henson died in 1990. And it had been in the works that the Muppets was going to get bought by Disney, but then Jim Henson died and it got kind of, choppy. And then finally Disney acquired the Muppets as intellectual property or whatever in 2004, but it still kind of took some time to do all of the transference of whatever. So this movie came out in 2011, and it was really the first, like, Disney-owned Muppet production, and it was kind of like them saying, like, hey, we know we haven't been around for a while, but we're coming back. And that's the whole plot, is like, it's outdated, but it's still here and it's still funny. And they really leaned into the reality of the situation for the plot of the movie, which I like. And I definitely agree. The little self-aware comments here and there as an adult viewer, I was like, oh, this movie is funny. And I definitely didn't pick up on that when I saw it when I was 12, you know?
No, this movie is hysterical. And it was probably, I think, the most fun movie that we've watched yet.
Which is saying a lot. We watch a lot of fucking fun movies.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not here for the serious films. We're not watching The Godfather anytime soon or any shit like that. Like, I'm here for the Muppet movie.
I love it. I love the Muppets. I love the energy that they bring to this movie. It's very true to, like, the original Muppet attitude. They don't have to constantly be changing them. Like, you know how cartoon characters, once every, like, 10 years, they're like, oh, we've redesigned...
Yeah, the animation style.
Yeah, like, we've updated the animation style for Mickey Mouse. Like,
the Muppets are still the Muppets, like,
and it's the same,
50 years later.
Yeah, it's the same vibe, it's the same attitude, but they just adapt the situation that they're in to kind of update to modern times. And I respect that. I mean, Disney, with all of its flaws... It is kind of fucked up and not great.
They can at least afford to do things right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that they didn't fuck up the Muppets. They did the sequel to this movie.
Oh, is there a sequel?
Oh yeah, it was Ricky Gervais and Tina Fey, and it was like a Muppet spy movie.
I love Tina, but Ricky Gervais is hot and cold with me.
Yeah, I don't know. It tanked in the box office.
That doesn't shock me.
This movie is the highest grossing Muppet thing ever.
Good.
So yeah, of all time. So this movie did really well, but then they tried to make sequels.
It was fucking good.
I remember really liking when I saw it. I remember just like a lot of it staying with me, and I enjoyed it this watch through as well. And the Muppets are still definitely a part of Disney currently. Muppet Babies. Have you seen a lot of the memes about the current Muppet Babies? Oh my god, they're so fucking cute. I'll have to show you.
Okay.
The Muppet Babies are
amazing. I feel like
amazing.
I've maybe seen like a baby Kermit.
Baby Kermit playing the little baby banjo.
Maybe.
Baby animal? I don't know.
No.
Muppet Babies are cool. Muppets are cool. I don't know if that's like, if this is a harsh stance to take. I feel like in the same way that I was talking about claymation, I feel like people are very yes or no about it. I just, puppets, I think, can be kind of jarring, like clowns, in that same way that, like, people could be like, oh, puppets freak me out. I feel like that's,
like, general puppets, though. I feel like Muppets are really in a different sector of their own, though.
Because it's not the ventriloquist dummy scary.
Yeah, no. It's a frog. It's a felt frog. You know what
Playing
I mean?
a banjo, singing about rainbows.
Exactly.
It can't get better than that.
I feel like, do you think that all of the celebrity cameos really added to this? Because there were so many that had me like fucking screaming when they popped up.
As somebody who knew, I remembered a good amount of them, and I knew a lot of them were coming, and I would like look to you to watch your reaction, and it was so worth it to just see your jaw drop open every time a new celebrity popped up on the screen. It's so funny. I would say one of the best ones, though, is definitely Emily Blunt playing her same...
Yes.
Her same character from Devil Wears Prada. They do, like, a bit where Miss Piggy is Anna Wintour and is in, like, the Vogue office, but they have to go through reception, so they have to get through Emily Blunt. And she's dressed just like her character from Devil Wears Prada, and she, like, talks the same way and acts the same way. And I would say that that's one of the fucking funniest part of the movie, which
100%.
If you're a child, you don't get it, but it's still Muppety, so it's funny. But if you're an adult who has seen that movie, it is pure gold.
Yeah. Fucking genius.
Pure gold that they got her for this. It was so funny. And then time after time, they do the celebrity cameos. They have Jack Black as himself.
Which I feel like the funny thing about Jack Black's whole thing is that, like, if Jack Black was actually being himself in this, he would have not batted an eye if the Muppets fucking took him hostage. Like,
right? No, they wouldn't have had to kidnap him. He would have just said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
but,
for
like,
sure.
Whoopi Goldberg popped up.
And it was a really funny trio. Whoopi Goldberg, Selena Gomez, and the kid from Modern Family. And they were like, oh yeah, we hear that there's like a charity event, a career opportunity. And there are a lot of celebrities like as themselves, but then there are also other celebrities like peppered here and there. Like Rashida Jones is a TV executive.
Donald Glover burst through the door and I was floored.
I think that might be my favorite one, honestly. Maybe just because I'm a big fan. But yeah, all the fucking celebrity cameos here and there are so funny, and I think that that's how you keep a kids movie like engaging for adults too, you know, because if you just put a laugh track behind it, kids will enjoy it because it's light and fun. But for adults, it was really great, and even just the Amy Adams, Jason Segel protagonist casting. Oh my god! The whole time Amy Adams does a full musical number about eating alone in a restaurant and feeling like, really good about it. What is it, like a party by myself? Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, hell yeah, Amy Adams.
Yeah,
I feel
you get it.
Just them doing like campy dance numbers. It's just funny to see. It was really good. I love the casting. I'm not saying Amy Adams should win an Oscar for this, but I do think that this is a representation of her range, style,
she's
her
a chameleon.
Talent.
She's a chameleon. Yeah. No. I think my favorite celebrity that popped up, and you probably saw it, was when they were saying Man or Muppet, and God, what's his fucking name?
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons pops up.
Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Not that I hate.
Yeah, as Walter's like human form, and it was just the fucking perfect casting.
It's perfect because
it just made so much sense. Like, yes, of course they would get Jim Parsons, as they should.
Right, because it's just genius, right? Because Jason Segel kind of looks a little floppy. Like, if you're gonna do a man... If you're gonna do a man, he's kind of goofy. Yeah. He's, like, really tall and lanky and kind of, like, wobbly. He's got kind of a silly face.
Yeah, he could be a Muppet.
Right, and so that's the whole thing is, like, Muppet and sibling twins. And you're like, yeah. No,
I see it. I get it.
No question. And then they're like a Muppet. Who's the humanized version of this puppet?
And it's Jim
Parsons. And it again is perfect. So they do a Muppetized figure of Jason Segel, and it looks so funny. And then they do, the humanized version of the Walter Muppet character, and it's, oh my god, it's perfect. I can't speak high enough. And that song, I wouldn't say it's the best song in the movie, because I still think the opening song sequence is more of an impressive musical number. But the Am I a Man or Am I a Muppet sequence of them all looking in mirrors and seeing their reflection as either a Muppet or a man is so fucking funny. It's for sure the best part of the movie.
Yeah, no. I want to shout out Jason Segel in general because, okay, last episode we talked about how Jesse Eisenberg pretty much played himself. I feel like Jason Segel kind of does the same with a lot of his roles. Like, I think about,
but I don't hate it, because at least he's not an asshole.
It's good. No, because it's really good, and it's really sweet, and I just want to give him a big hug. Like, I think about, like, How I Met Your Mother, or, like, Freaks and Geeks and everything like that. And he's just, like,
Big dopey, big nice guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I would just want to hang out with him and we could watch a movie and giggle together, you know what I mean?
Speaking of Aaron Brockovich, environmental lawyer, what's his name in that show?
I have no idea. What the fuck are you talking about?
In How I Met Your Mother, what's his name? Lily and Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall
Erickson.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an environmental lawyer in that show.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to make a connection.
I forgot he was an environmental lawyer. I haven't watched that show in like 7 years.
But in How I Met Your Mother, his wife is Lily, who has red hair and is very like self-confident, like spunky character.
Yeah.
And I love that they kind of did the same thing in this
With, like,
movie.
Amy Adams.
That they're like, okay, we're typecasting Jason Segel. He's being a Muppet of a man. Yes. And they're like, what better to go with this than a confident redhead? Let's just Amy Adams.
We're like, you know what? We know he knows this. It's good. He's fucking spot on.
I love it. The opening scene for Amy Adams is she's under a car, like repairing a car.
Right.
And then she pops out of it, and then she stands up, and she's a school teacher.
Yeah, right.
So not only can she fix a car, she's a school teacher, dual fucking feminine, masculine intelligence. Yes. And throughout the film, she stands up for herself. When he forgets their anniversary, she fucking goes home, and she says, are you a man? Or are you a Muppet? And honestly, I love that for her. But
Would you say she's a girl boss?
No, because personally, if my partner was like, hey, we're spending our 10-year anniversary saving the Muppets and putting on a production, that would be my dream. That would be better than any gift. So the fact that she's feeling iffy about it is more telling about her as a person than about his commitment to the relationship, because honestly, I would be having a romp. I'd be like, get me up in there in a fucking burlesque outfit, and I'll sing with those chickens. I will.
You would fuck that up.
I would. You would whistle. You would duet whistle with Walter.
Yeah, no, 100%. Me and Animal could have like a drum off.
The Swedish chef can hibachi and toss the little bits of zucchini into my mouth.
Yeah.
I'll try to catch them.
We can get Henry to cook with him a little bit. Yeah, no, I know you would fuck up like making their costumes for the production. You would put them in some fresh fucking fits.
I have always had like a deep in my heart desire to like make puppets, specifically to make the puppets for the Broadway musical Avenue Q. Because I think that would be such a fun project. Even just one of them, if they're like, make this one puppet and make it look dope, I would fuck that up so hard. Because I've seen Avenue Q on Broadway. Amazing. One of the best musicals I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen kind of a lot, and I would rank it so high. Avenue Q is so...
Like top 3?
Yeah, like top 3. It's crazy. I don't know if I just have a weird puppet thing. I don't know if I have a thing for puppets. I don't know if that's weird about me. But
I feel like it's... Okay, if it's like creepy ventricle...
But they're Muppets. They're not puppets, they're Muppets.
If they're Muppets, then it's fine. If it's puppets, a little weird. But if it's Muppets, then you're solid.
Do you know where the word Muppet comes from?
No, please enlighten me.
It is a combination of the words marionette and puppet, because a puppet is something you put on your hand and control, and a marionette is something that has strings. So a Muppet is a combination that uses hands and external structures for movement. And so that's how sometimes there can be multiple people controlling one puppet at a time. Therefore, somebody's hand is inside Kermit controlling his face, but there are other people controlling his limbs. It's a Muppet, not a puppet.
I love that.
Yeah, marionette puppets. So, and like there are big ones in costumes, like Big Bird.
Yeah, no, like you can...
That's a person just in a costume.
Yeah.
But then there are the smaller ones. If you look up, I really encourage that you do some of the setups for like Kermit sitting playing the banjo on the log is like 18 different things controlling, and it's all practical. It's so cool. I just think it's so impressive and so fascinating. It's so much cooler than a lot of the animated or CGI stuff that gets put into film today. I think if people just tried half as hard as they used to do practical effects, it's just so much more impressive. And even we were laughing throughout the whole movie about the like expressions
Oh my god, yeah, when Muppet's face just sinks in.
It's so funny. When Kermit, his hand is just like, or his face is just a hand, but when the hand turns into a fist, his face gets kind of anxious and scrunched up. It's just perfect. Or the Walter character is constantly shaking a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I feel that.
Or like the scenes where they're running. It's so funny because it's practical and you know that that's a person controlling it, and it just makes it more silly. And I think
CGI almost looks too perfect, like 90% of the time.
Right, or if it's trying to be silly, you know it was almost a choice, whereas this is just silly because it's being moved in a way that's floppy and silly. I don't know.
No. Muppets don't get enough recognition, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I just think that more things should be done practically. I know I've said it in past episodes, and it was going to be my sort of transitional pick for post-watch movie, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the TV show The Dark Crystal, so Jim Henson did a movie called The Dark Crystal, and it was really fucking weird, and it's like a fantasy puppet movie, right? Okay. And then, obviously he's dead. His daughter gets with the Jim Henson Puppet Company, and they make a whole series-long TV show about the backstory, so it's like a prequel to the movie that explains all of the weird fucking things that he did. They, come up with extensive backstories for all the characters, because the original movie didn't make a lot of sense. They just wanted to, make a cool fantasy-looking puppet movie. Yeah. But then they, really get into it, and they have Mark Hamill, they have Awkwafina.
Fucking love Mark Hamill.
They have Taron Egerton.
Oh, God.
What's her name? Queen's Gambit?
Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, I think she's in it, too. So many really famous voice actors get in on this project. It's so good.
What's the name of this?
It's called The Dark Crystal. It's a TV series on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, but it's done by, the Jim Henson official company, and it's, I think mainly directed and produced by his daughter, Jim Henson's daughter.
I'll have to see this.
It's so good, and I watched the show before ever seeing the movie, so, because the show is a prequel to the movie, so I watched the show first, and then we watched the movie, and it's kind of funny to see how, janky and hokey the movie is. Yeah. After watching the TV show, which is amazing, but it's mostly done with practical effects, and it's fucking stunning. Everything is Muppets, puppets and Muppets, and it's all real, and it's so good. I cannot suggest it enough. I was gonna say we usually do a follow-up movie segment section, and I would say to either watch the Dark Crystal movie or just watch the show if you're a puppet person like me. I guess I'm really labeling myself. We're talking about furries. We're talking about puppets.
I feel
I'm gonna get some weird DMs, but
I feel but we talked about this in Fantastic Mr. Fox about mediums that don't get enough credit.
Yeah, and fucking puppets
puppetry
are cool.
is one of them. It doesn't get used very much at all, like you said, because fucking CGI is all the rage
right,
now.
And it looks great, and it's clean, and you can do it quick and efficiently.
Like you said, puppetry is so funny. It's absurd.
Right? When you make Kermit's nose kind of squish in on itself and he looks a little bit uncomfortable, by God, is that not relatable?
Why does that send me as much as it does? It shouldn't, but it does.
And I don't know if there were puppetry awards. I'm sure there are. And maybe there are different awards within the, whatever community. But I cannot believe... Well, I can believe, but I wish that there was, I don't know if I would say that I wish there was an Oscar for this, or practical effects, because they have best visual effects, they have best makeup and hair. I don't know if I wish that this was more recognized or even just more talked about, but just the person controlling Walter the puppet, fucking genius. That one scene he's running at the camera deserves 1,000,000 awards in itself. I think it's probably something that's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, 100%.
And takes a lot of, I don't know. I'm not saying that the Oscars should open a puppetry category. Yeah. And maybe I'm just not educated enough to be looking into the puppetry community. Maybe I should. I think there's a place for me. But
Walter was just such a funny character in general.
Good protagonist.
That one scene.
He's so anxious.
Yeah, no, I felt seen. There's that one moment where he's just screaming for 3 different shots. I'm like, yes. I understand exactly where you are.
I've been there. Were you ever, growing up, were you a fan? I mean, did you watch a lot of Sesame Street? Did you watch a lot of Muppets?
Yeah, I more Sesame Street than Muppets, but I And kind of tacking on to what you were saying, because you said, was it The Dark Crystals was going to be your follow-up to this?
Mm-hmm. We're going to do one of the other Muppet movies?
Kind of. I think that my follow-up would be the movie, and I mentioned this to you during the watch that we did, and I was like, that movie that's all about Kermit. And I don't think I got it across, but I found it, and it's Kermit's Swamp Years.
Yeah, I was not familiar with this one. You were like, do you know that movie that's Kermit and a bunch of other frogs going on an adventure? And I was like,
yeah.
No.
Wikipedia pretty much says it follows a young Kermit the Frog and his best friends, Goggles and Croaker, who travel outside of their homes in the swamps of the deep south to do something extraordinary with their lives. And I just have a very strong memory of, like, me on a long car ride in, like, 2005 or 6. And, like, you know when you had those, like...
Portable DVD players?
Exactly. That would strap onto the back of the car seats and you would watch this and just watching this movie. And I haven't watched it in years, but I think if you're gonna go for another Muppets movie, that's personally my pick.
On the same kind of line of thought, do you remember Elmo and Grouchland?
No.
So this was very, very staple for my childhood. It was a Sesame Street movie where Oscar the Grouch, his race of people live like under the ground in the sewers, and Elmo gets sucked down into Grouchland. It's
I feel like I should know.
Yeah,
this.
it's like Elmo and Grouchland. I don't know. I remember watching that one a lot as being like a puppet staple in my childhood.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I definitely watched a lot of Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock. Definitely was very much a staple. Even the Muppets, all the Muppet remakes, like a Muppet Christmas Carol, a Muppet.
Yeah, that was good.
What is it? Treasure Island. Like all of those are so good. I fully would support. Like, I'm not really here for the current Disney remakes, the live action remakes that they're doing, because they're just kind of like a cash grab. If they just did exactly what they're doing with the Muppets instead, if they were like Mulan, but it's the Muppets.
It's like, yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I would love that. But just pick like one or two characters and have them be humans. So funny. I would get behind that 100%. I think that Hollywood needs to do a little 180 and lean more into the practical effects of puppetry rather than the technological scenery that they are doing nowadays. That's all I have to say.
To any Hollywood executives that are listening, will you please take our fucking advice? We're professionals.
Hey, Frank Oz, if you want to get on the pod, feel free. We have a lot of celebrity guests lined up.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
We're just waiting for Jeff Goldblum to email us back. Come on.
But so you know, Frank Oz is like the guy who did all this stuff alongside Jim Henson, right?
Yeah.
So like Jim Henson was Kermit, this guy was Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
He was, Bert, he was Ernie, whatever. I'm probably not getting that right, but it was like Frank Oz and Jim Henson were like the two Muppet guys. And Frank Oz was on the contract to direct this movie, and then he read the script and he said, I don't like it, and then he just left. So they got someone else to do it. He didn't like the script, and so he's like, I'm not into it.
Good.
He's pretty old.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, no. Speaking of, since Frank Oz did Miss Piggy, I just wanted to, just because I had this in my notes for the podcast, I just want to talk about that. I think you know what I'm going to talk about. That one moment where they're kidnapping Jack Black. And honestly, I think that Miss Piggy probably did it first when she goes,
Pussy slams!
Yeah, she goes full Black Widow on Jack Black and just fucking grapples him with her legs around the neck.
I think that had to have been like a fucking joke. I know that the first Avengers movie came out in 2012, I believe. So this did
is
come
beforehand.
Out first. This did come out first. So it has to be some sort of reference to like female superheroes or video game characters or something.
Do you think that the MCU ripped this off though? Yes or no?
Yes. Absolutely. Miss Piggy did it first. I would love that she just pussy slams him right in the face, and that's what knocks him out, and then they kidnap him. Come on. She dives at him, crotch first, and slams into his face and knocks him out. Come on. That is so... that is girl boss.
I think that the MCU could be entirely improved if Miss Piggy just played Black Widow instead of Scarlett
I
Johansson.
think in the same way that in the Muppet movies, there's like one or two humans.
Yeah, there should just be one or two Muppets in the MCU.
In every Disney movie, there was just like one Muppet. Yeah. If in every MCU movie, just like what they're like, yeah, this is the Avengers, but just like one of them is a Muppet.
Which Muppet would you have play one Avenger?
I do think Miss Piggy as Black Widow would be really fucking funny.
I think Gonzo as Iron Man would be really good.
Or even like I don't know, like the Swedish chef as the Jon Favreau character.
Yeah.
But just like a background character would be really fucking funny.
Animal as the Hulk makes a lot of sense.
Green Animal. But it's Mark Ruffalo, but then he morphs just into a Muppet of Animal. Oh, see?
We should just recast the entire MCU as Muppets.
Get us on your writing team. Come on. Oh, I would love that. Oh, so if you could remake any film,
Oh God.
but Muppetify it, which one would you do?
I want to go for like something really serious.
Schindler's List.
I was literally about to say Schindler's List. Because that's been suggested to us.
or like The Godfather, but oh my god, you come to me the day of my daughter's wedding, but it's a fucking Muppet. I mean, that scene has been like recreated to death. I was right off the bat, I think Lord of the Rings, completely practically done as puppets would be so fucking crazy. I think it's almost impossible considering the scope of that movie. But just, I think a bunch of hobbits as puppets would be really cute and funny.
I think you're right. For some reason, Indiana Jones popped into my head.
Oh my god.
Like Kermit as a little Indiana Jones.
Yes. Put him in a little fedora. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I would really like that. I feel like any like Steven Spielberg movie with Muppets would be like
really good.
Yeah, vastly improved. Not to say Steven Spielberg isn't good. I just think it would be a lot funnier with Muppets.
like The Shining, but everything's the same. But Shelley Duvall's character is a Muppet.
Not even Miss Piggy would play her.
It just looks like a Muppet version of Shelley Duvall.
No. It's just the chicken.
Replace one character with a Muppet chicken in your movie, I dare you. If you think your screenplay is good, consider any character that could be swapped out with a puppet chicken, and if your movie still holds up, then you're good to go. Is all I have to say.
I feel you and I both really enjoy the Little Hours.
Yeah, oh my god! Nuns, chicken, nun, puppets?
Imagine Sister Act.
Oh my god. Whoopi is in this movie.
Whoopi's the human. That's the only human in this.
Oh my god. Nun puppets are so good. I was gonna say The Color Purple as a follow-up to this. You do Whoopi's in this, what next? The Color Purple. That's maybe a little too harsh. Sister Act.
harsh.
I think would be a perfect follow-up.
I think the Sister Act is a perfect follow-up.
Sister Act would be a really good...
Yeah.
So, I feel like maybe 2 puppet movies in a row, though. You'd really gotta be in a puppet headspace.
I have a long shot.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
It's not
shot.
as... It's fun if you have, like, some time to kill during the day. It has a puppet scene. Just go for The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music.
That's mostly just because I was thinking of The Sound of Music entirely done by Muppets.
Would be great. I think
but
that would be a fun... It's definitely... It matches the energy,
it's
for sure.
Julie Andrews. There's a couple of Nazis, so it's suspenseful. Yeah, it's also a musical.
Also, doesn't... I mean, I wouldn't say puppets, but I would say that Mary Poppins has that, like...
Yeah, that childish
I think
vibe.
maybe anything that does the humans and animated characters meeting, like the Garfield, a Stuart Little, Alvin and the Chipmunks. That, I mean, it's not puppetry, which it should be, but it could work.
I think I have a good one. A good follow-up. I think Hook would be really fun.
Hook! I love that movie.
Yeah. We should definitely do that sometime.
Okay.
Anytime I'm like a little sad, I just think of that scene as like, hold me back, Smee.
Okay, this is also kind of like a random fact, but you know the leader of the Lost Boys in Hook, the kid who has the crazy red like
I think I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
His name is Rufio. That the kid who voiced or played him in that movie was also the voice in Avatar: The Last Airbender of Prince Zuko. His name is Dante Basco, and he was Rufio in Hook, and he was also Prince Zuko, and he's my idol, my icon, my legend.
Did you know he was in the iconic Natasha Lyonne film, But I'm a Cheerleader?
No, I didn't know that. I love that.
We definitely have to watch that during our queer month.
Yes.
For
I would
June.
love a Muppet version of Natasha Lyonne with her hair. Oh my god, she'd be the perfect Muppet. She has the build for
If
it.
she could, like, I want her to voice it as well, of course.
Yeah, I want her to look like her,
would,
and I want her to voice it.
Yeah, no,
for
she
sure.
would. Oh, Natasha Lyonne would fuck up a Muppet. Natasha,
Get on the pod.
if you're listening, we just really think you would do a Muppet solid.
I'm trying to think of something that maybe integrates puppets in less of an overt way. E.T., he's kind of a puppet. We could, I don't know, E.T.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alf. I know that was a TV show.
Yeah.
The Witches, the 1990. So Jim Henson.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, Jim Henson worked on the 1990 film, right before he died, The Witches, which had a combination of
great
human
movie.
actors and sort of puppetry elements.
Yeah.
Don't watch the modern version of The Witches with Anne Hathaway because bad reviews.
Did you watch it?
No, but it won a Razzie, so...
Oh, it won the Raz? Oh, no.
Yeah, The Witches... I think Anne Hathaway has, in The Witches, won a Razzie.
I love Anne.
Annie. Do you know people call her
girl.
Annie?
No.
That's her preferred. Her parents, her friends, her close. She's Annie. That she goes by Annie. But for some reason, it's just Anne Hathaway. They were like that. They were like that. That is more your brand. But so like people who know her personally call her Annie. Yeah, they call her Annie.
Hey, Annie.
Hey, Annie, get on the pod.
Yeah, you want to come on the pod?
Any of your films, literally, I am such a fan. Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries, we're going to have to cover.
1, 2, Brokeback Mountain, Les Mis. This was, so Les Mis was
I love to scream cry that fucking song in my car. I watched, it was like, I watched an interview she did once, and she was like, yeah, like she had to talk to her husband and be like, if you hear anything distressing coming from the bathroom, like, I'm just practicing. Don't fucking worry.
It's really good. She won for Best Actress the same year that Amy Adams was up for American Hustle, and that's why she lost. Amy Adams lost to Anne Hathaway, and everyone was like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah, so almost, like, I was kind
Sorry, Amy, but she got you bagged on that one.
Yeah, I was trying to go through a lot of the years that Amy Adams lost to try to see if there was ever truly, like, a big snub year, and a lot of her losses are kind of that, like, it's like,
It's just really tough competition, and it's like, I want you to win, Amy,
but
it just wasn't your year, but it hasn't been her year for, like, 7 years. Yeah, so what would you pair for this movie? What would we drink? What would we eat?
Oh my god, so in reality, we desperately ordered a pizza and we drank mixed drink cocktails, which was pretty fun. I think
what did you have? Because I had a tequila soda because
that's a little serious. I'm gonna say that it's a little serious for this movie. You need something a little sugary, a little fun.
Yeah.
I had a rum, like a tiki drink, like a passion fruit.
Dara's drink was super hot. It doesn't even taste like there's alcohol in it. What's your secret again?
Passion fruit puree. It's tough to say. It's easy to drink. Passion fruit puree.
Like this is. You can tell me this is a Capri Sun, and I would believe you.
You do a cup of rum, a fuck ton of ice, a splash of that shit. You can get it at some grocery stores, but most liquor stores, it's in like a white bottle.
One of those squeezy bottles.
Yeah, and it's so good, and it really works. I think any sort of fruity fun drink would work for this, because it's Muppet.
Definitely.
It's like a Dirty Shirley, a punch, anything with blue curacao.
Yeah, just something punchy is very much what you want.
Yeah, and I would say, a fun snack, mozzarella sticks comes to mind.
Just order a desperate pizza, like we did, honestly.
Yeah, a desperate pizza. Tip 30%.
Specifically desperate. If you're not desperate, don't order it. But like if you really need it, then you have to order it and you're doing it right.
But like it's the
Wait
Muppets.
until halfway through the movie.
It's the Muppets, so don't take yourself too seriously, you know? But there is a restaurant scene, but Amy Adams doesn't order any food.
No.
She just does a musical number.
I think the thing to do is find whatever easy and oven like
Friendly,
oven friendly food you have in your freezer, chuck it in, and you're fine.
Yeah, definitely mozzarella sticks, mac and cheese bites, pizza bagels, pizza rolls, French fries, waffle
It's
fries.
the Muppets. Just do whatever you feel.
Maybe
really.
I feel like maybe like a loaded French fry. You do like French fries with like
That'd be
cheese
hot.
and bacon and sour cream. That could be fun. Or like nachos is maybe a little bit too much work. I don't know. Something very childish and fun. Maybe chicken tenders.
Exactly.
I don't know.
This feels like the the brown plate that we suggested last time.
The brown foods. But if you do pizza bagels, here's my take.
Lay it on me.
I'm not gonna say adult pizza bagels, but you do like elevated pizza bagels.
Okay.
You
Professional pizza bagels.
You take an everything bagel, right?
Hot. Like got me already.
Like from the bakery section of the grocery store. Like
you're balling out.
Not the pre-packaged ones, but like the fresh ones.
Fuck it. I'm doing it myself.
Right? And then you obviously you cut them in half, you get them on the tray, you preheat your oven to like 450, you do like pizza sauce, maybe a little bit of pesto, some mozzarella cheese. So you just do like a homemade pizza bagel situation.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're feeling really fancy, you could do like peppers and onions or like like fucking I don't know.
Throw
topping.
a pepperoni or two on it. It's fine. Whatever.
Right. But don't go too crazy.
Yeah. No.
Like no fig and goat cheese. Like that's too far. That's
no.
too far.
The bare minimum, but like enough
still,
to be an adult.
So you're like, hey, we're having pizza bagels, and your guests go, but then you bring these out, and they're like, wow, you
tried.
You put that in the oven instead of the toaster
Exactly.
oven. And I think that could be a really fun.
I think it's a really
drink.
good call.
Yeah, and I think that any drink involving the word puree.
Yeah.
A blueberry puree, a raspberry puree.
Just anything fruity, really, of your choice.
I think
it's a bit of a fruity movie.
Yeah, a fruity move.
So our typical segments are a little tough to do because doing fuck, marry, kill.
No,
for
I
a
think
Muppets
this
movie,
works. I think this works because there are so many celebrities.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
We can go for the side bits.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Should we go for like? There's not like a main 3. There's like a main 2, which is Jason Segel.
We cannot
and Amy
include the
Adams.
puppet. We cannot include
no
Walter.
puppets included.
Okay.
As much as you might think, you know what, you should do the fuck, marry, kill with the puppets, we're not gonna do that. I'm sorry.
If we include the human version of him, which is Jim Parsons, does that make it valid?
Yes. Okay.
But we're both gonna kill him, right?
I don't know. I really love Jim Parsons. Have you seen that show Hollywood? Have you?
Yes.
Fucking outstanding. As much as I hate that
Big Bang Theory.
I hate Big Bang Theory, but I hate that. I think it's I feel like it's Jason Sudeikis that's been beating him for the best supporting actor in a TV comedy or something like that.
What has Jason Sudeikis been winning for?
Oh god, what's the name of it? Ted Lasso or something, which I have no idea what that is.
No.
Like, Jason, I know you're having a time, but like...
Hollywood is not a comedy, though. It's a drama.
Who's winning then? It might be... Is it?
I don't know.
It might be Josh O'Connor for The Crown then, which... That's very fair
Valid,
instead. Yeah, no.
Okay, but so...
Which that I get. I just really love Jim Parsons in that show.
Let's include...
Shut the fuck up, I'm dancing.
we have to... So... Instead of the Muppet, you have to just pretend that that's Jim Parsons.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll do Amy Adams,
Jason
Segel
Segel, and Jim Parsons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so I don't like Walter as a puppet or a person as much as I
love him. I relate to him too much. That's why we can't be together. We're too similar.
It would never work.
It wouldn't. We both shake too much. Too sweaty. I could never be the Muppet. Well, maybe I could. It would absorb my sweat.
See, it's really hard because I want to marry Jason Segel and Amy Adams.
Right? I'm like, who do I fuck? I want to marry them all. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to kill Jim Parsons just because of the whole Muppet conundrum here. I'm going to
I agree.
Marry Jason Segel, and I'm gonna fuck Amy Adams. That's my final here.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the same as you. I'm gonna kill the Walter Muppet or
Humanized
just human,
Muppet.
whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna kill Jim Parsons. I'm gonna marry Amy Adams and I'm gonna fuck Jason Segel, but like as long as like
I get to ride reverse cowgirl, so we don't have to make eye contact. You know.
I was gonna say like we could like watch a movie and like you could,
spoon fuck. Like we're both watching the movie, we're not looking at each other, but it's still in me.
This is not at all.
Sorry, this is not arable.
I was gonna say afterwards we can just watch a movie and he can like throw his arm around me and we can like hang out. But yeah, no, if you wanna.
Well, if you wanna fuck during the movie, then that's better because we don't have
But
to.
I feel like I don't want to like fuck during the movie because honestly,
I would rather watch the movie. Yeah. True. I always that was always something I struggled with the whole Netflix and chill like stereotype is that I don't want to fuck during a movie. I want to watch the movie. Are you ever like they're trying to get it on and you're like, no. The plot is getting thick.
I haven't had that.
We're having the rising story arc right now. Are you kidding?
I can't. I don't want to talk about this on the pod, but I'm going to anyway. I can't like listen to the Talking Heads anymore because there was one particular individual that was like, "Let's watch this Talking Heads concert." I was like, "Okay, fine."
Oh no.
Sorry if you're listening to this, but like now I can't listen to the Talking Heads for more than like 3 songs in a row.
3 songs, that's your limit.
I have flashbacks.
Okay, if you're gonna like out yourself, I'll out myself too.
Thank you.
Is that I dated somebody in high school, and Emily and I were good friends. And she said to me, Dara, he looks like Beaker from the Muppets. And then I had a hard time after that because she was right. So I dated a person for quite a long time who is a spitting image of Beaker from the Muppets. If you're gonna out yourselves as the Talking Heads,
you might as well say you fucked Beaker.
Yeah, I fucked Beaker from the Muppets. Fuck, we're trying to do fuck, marry, kill without including Muppets, but guess what? I've already been there. Okay, but anyways.
So from the whole movie.
Including, especially all the celebrity guest judges, I'm going to marry Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, fuck, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm going to marry Whoopi, obviously. I'm going to fuck Donald Glover, and I am going to kill Sam the Eagle. I'm going to kill a Muppet. It can't be that hard. They're made of felt. And also,
you could just Miss Piggy throttle him with your thighs.
So they do like a montage, and they like say like let's do a montage, and they do a montage of them gathering all the Muppets together. And they're all in like different scenarios, and Sam the Eagle is like hosting a Fox News type show, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, I'll kill Sam the Eagle. Fuck that guy.
I'm like you said, I'm going to marry Whoopi Goldberg because it's fucking Whoopi Goldberg. I'm going to fuck Emily Blunt.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna kill, who's the woman that voices, Louise on Bob's Burgers that was leading the anger management group?
Yes, we were thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna kill her for trying to bring Animal down.
Right, let me get her name. I totally recognize her too. I'm like, hell yeah, her name is Kristen Schaal. Schaal.
Kristen, I love you, but I'm gonna have to kill your character in this because you gotta let Animal be Animal.
I would also love to be married to Jack Black. That seems like such a romp. I saw a video pretty recently where
TikTok.
Yes, his wife is covering him in green paint, and she's using a sponge. And he goes, "The sponge isn't big enough. Use your hands." And then she starts rubbing green paint with her hands all over his body.
I have to know the context.
Well, the caption is just what it's like to be married to a creative.
Yeah.
Oh, and I thought that was so good. I would love to be married to Jack Black. The way he kicks, he walks and he does a little kick.
I love him.
Oh, so amazing. Jack Black, if you'd like to be on the pod. I saw you in concert, Tenacious D, 14, I think it was. You were great. You sweat through 3 of your t-shirts and you just changed them right on stage. And honestly, I thought that was very brave of you for being honest with your true self.
King shit.
I love Jack Black. And I love Tenacious D. This movie's great, though. So many good cameos. John Krasinski.
I know. Oh my
Neil
God.
Patrick Harris.
I love that him and Emily Blunt were both in this.
So, and I just have to say, the ending of this movie, you
Stop.
lost your shit. So Jason Segel, we keep using their actor names because it's just easier. But
That's just
Gary,
literally- yeah.
Gary proposes to Mary,
And then she just looks at the camera.
Manamana.
Manamana.
Manamana. It's like a little montage with everyone in the movie. So good.
It was so cute. I really loved it.
I
Yeah,
said,
no.
let's go to JCPenney, which is a lot less romantic than Manamana. Wow, we're just exposing ourselves on this episode.
Yeah, no.
Huh?
You give me 1 or 2 like tequila sodas, and I'm like, listen.
Like, which Muppet would you fuck?
We know what one you would.
Fuck! I wouldn't do it again.
So-
I'm married to the Swedish chef. Pardon you.
That's who, yeah, no. That's exactly who you want to be married to, yeah.
I would
No.
say Henry looks more like Sam the Eagle than the Swedish Chef, but he has the personality of the Swedish Chef. Did you ever see the Bohemian Rhapsody Muppet cover?
No.
Oh my God, we will have to be posting this on our social media. The Muppets did a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, and it is one of the most iconic pieces of media ever created. That's all I have to say. What would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Before I answer that, just because we're talking about media of the Muppets, can I just show you this picture of Laura Dern with Kermit? And then can I show you this second picture of
Them
Laura
kissing!
Dern?
Oh my God. Yes, that's going up everywhere. That's my new phone screensaver.
Good.
I
What would
love
I rate this movie? I would rate it higher than The Social Network, and I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
I'm just gonna give it an 8. This movie's so fun. It's under 2 hours. It's like 1 hour and 40. Make yourself a stiff cocktail and a freezer snack. Watch the Muppets. It's so fun. If you have kids, if you don't have kids.
It doesn't matter.
If you're
Any and all ages.
Yeah, if you're 2, if you're 12, if you're 27, if you're 50, the Muppets is so good.
Yeah, she's a universal topic.
I just want to say that we love you guys and that you're really great. And if you're a new listener,
Thank you so much.
yeah, thanks for joining us.
You can find us on Twitter or Instagram at The Swamp Pod. We also have a website, just
theswamppodcast.com. We
Yeah.
also have a Gmail, which nobody's ever used before. So if you want to be the first person to ever email us,
Yeah.
we will read your email verbatim on the podcast, no matter what you say. You can say the most profane and gross shit, and I will read it if you send it to our email, which
please.
is theswamppod@gmail.com. We have yet to receive a single thing. Also, leave comments on our website, our social media. We're on TikTok now, which is
at The
fun.
Swamp Podcast.
Yep, and we really appreciate anybody who sticks around to listen. You guys are really cool, and I can't believe that the Muppets exist.
Hey, Dara.
Hey, Emily.
Do, 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 do.
Manamana. 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 Manamana.